This is Matthew, a photographer and darkroom print expert who just made over $20,000 selling his expertise online. Matthew is one of 200 plus clients that I've worked with to help build and monetize their audience. And today, he's going to reveal when he knew it was time to monetize his audience, the limiting beliefs he had to break to make this happen, and how he got so many purchases he had to turn away people's money and shut doors to his training program.
Because we did the pre-launch and I was going to cut it off at 10 people, and so many people joined up in the first hour. I couldn't shut it down. 18 people had joined, and then I finally removed the sales page altogether.
All right, awesome. Hello everyone, welcome back to another interview. Today we're here with Matthew Kohler, and he has a channel on darkroom printing and photography. And so I guess, Matthew, before we get started, do you want to tell everyone a little bit more about who you are, what you do?
Yeah, well, I've been a professional photographer for going on 20 years. That's been my main source of income. And I started a YouTube on kind of a more niche, old school black and white darkroom printing years ago. And it started to take some traction. So I saw that there was quite a bit of interest in it. And people started asking me if I would do workshops and things. And so it had really been on my mind for a long time to offer some kind of education. And I tried various routes, done things and found some success with them, but then would hit roadblocks and things. And then I finally was asked by one gentleman to really coach him. And that kind of prompted me to get some materials together. And at the same time, I was introduced to Atavia and Creative Monetized, and hopped on a call with them, and it seemed like it would be a pretty good fit to actually get done what I knew could get done, but I wasn't able to. I didn't have the steps in place, and I didn't have the roadmap, to actually get it done in the proper way. You know what I mean? And to build this out to what I know it can be. Yeah. So that's pretty much my history on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I guess that was a couple of months ago, but now you launched probably last month, if I'm correct, right? We're in July, it was in June that you launched?
It was about 2 months ago with the initial, the pre-launch. The pre-launch was a couple months ago, and we had people come in, and then I built it out and did the full launch. So yeah, a couple months now.
Gotcha. Awesome, man. And I mean, we went through kind of so far you've made over 60, you got new 60 members through, and that's different price points. We were joking about how you have multiple price points.
I kept writing one thing in my scripting and then saying another thing in the video, and it was kind of a mess. But there's currently 61 members in my community. 61 have joined over those couple months, so it's been really awesome.
Awesome, man. Do you know what's the total revenue coming in so far then for that launch?
I want to say, I think right around 16,000, but I don't know if my numbers are right. Mine
were, maybe we need to look at mine was, when I added it with the numbers you said, it was 22.
20.
But
okay.
You got 18 people at 250, right? For the pre-launch.
Yeah.
The little pre-launch. I guess tell the story of the pre-launch. You were only supposed to do 10 people, and then you had too many people.
I think 20. Sorry, I'm not great. My wife does all the books, so I honestly don't. I haven't run the numbers, but 20, a little over 20,000 probably sounds about right, because we did the pre-launch, and I was going to cut it off at 10 people, and so many people joined up. In the first hour, I couldn't shut it down, and so over the course of 3-4 hours, 18 people had joined, and then I finally removed the sales page altogether. I had to remove the sales page, the form part from the funnel, because people kept finding it and buying it, and I'm I'm supposed to shut this thing down. This is anyway. So that was at 250. So we had 18 people at 250. Then the rest of the, I guess, kind of pre-launch was at 400, and I had that jumped it up to 50 people.
Yeah.
So I've never really actually run the numbers at Atavia, but I think it's over 20,000. And then 11 more people joined up just recently because I just actually like put it out there to everybody because everything else was just for my email list. So now it's gone out to everybody, and people have been joining up at the full price, which is $497. So yeah, whatever those
Yeah,
totals add to, it's been
yeah.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah, it's been good, some good extra
yeah, yeah.
income. I guess you were saying it was cool as well. You went on vacation last week, or was it last week? And then you still had some sales coming through. So
Yeah, I was.
that
It was the 4th of July, and we were traveling and doing some things as a family. My wife and my daughter, and yeah, it was cool because I think like 5 or 6 sales over the holiday, and I was like, oh, that's another 3,000, and then we was doing some other things, so it was really nice, and then and just meeting the new people coming in, when they come in, and yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah, awesome, man. Absolutely. What was, I guess, to take the story back to when we first met, what was like kind of the main things or main challenges when it came to actually launching something like this? Because you were already monetizing your audience, right? You had, I think it was like more like you sold physical products like the printer that you still sell on Instagram right now,
Hmm.
but you wanted to potentially do something more digital. So I guess what was the like main challenges there when it came to that?
Yeah, and I still have the physical products that I sell. I had what was like a mini course, which was more like I was using it more as a real low end ticket lead magnet, which is now
Hmm.
part of my workshop. And immediately, like in the transition, I raised the price of that. So I think some of it was limiting beliefs uh, on my part, but a lot of it was just not having everything in a cohesive spot or system that you guys have in place to where like I was you piece all these things together from different people, and it becomes really confusing. And there's the one thing I've definitely learned is there's just so many moving parts into doing this like efficiently and not even correctly, because you can do it correctly like many different ways, but to do it like efficiently you have to there's like steps in place, and that's what I was missing because I'm a very eclectic person, and I will be like, let's do this and do this, and then I have like 4 offers and email sequences all over the place, and so I'm trying to streamline it. It's been really helpful to like just focus on this one thing. Like I wanted to have like 3 communities, like it's like, no, don't do that. Just like, let's do this, like do that. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I love starting things, and it's nice. So I've started this, many times, and it's nice to be able to actually have it to where it's like what I've envisioned it to be, and that's kind of what's happened. So
Yeah, yeah, it's awesome, and it's good as well that it's not just like the monetary like value and making money with that, but also like you just seem to like you talk a lot about the people in the community, like it being
oh yeah,
cool to actually be able to interact with these people like all over the world and
yeah,
meet different people that have been following you.
yeah. That's the thing. I absolutely I've this has been my passion forever, and I absolutely love it. And it's cool that there's people all over the world that still love it too, and they want to learn more. And because I've done, photography is such a big niche, right? Like general. And I've done lighting workshops, and I've taught people digital photography and all that, but I never wanted, like when I was doing it, it was never that fulfilling. It was like, yeah, I can do this and there's a bigger audience, but I'm like, what I love doing is this. And that's that, I talked about just, limiting beliefs. It was like, is there a market for such a tight niche that was dying and now is kind of growing in a weird way?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because it's
Mhm.
like, I don't want to be involved in something that's going away, but this seems to be growing and it was old. So it was really like, okay, is this possible? And I kept, people would ask me, to help them. And it's like, okay, but is there a big enough audience? And it's like now it was kind of like when I was selling that physical product, it was like proof of concept. It's like, well, a lot of people are buying this thing. So there's a lot of people doing it. And then my YouTube channel's growing. And then, through you guys helping me, it's grown more. And now I know that like a lot of people are interested, and people come in and they're just grateful that community exists because nothing else exists like it. So it's like, okay, clearly onto something, and I want to see where it grows, and it seems to be pretty, yeah, I'm super passionate about it. The community is amazing. Like, and
Yeah.
yeah, I just want to keep going in that direction.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome, man. And with that being said, then you spoke about like now seeing where it grows. Like, well, what's the plan then? I guess for next kind of like it's what we were discussing a little bit before the call right now. But like,
Mhm.
what's kind of the plan next kind of 6 months to year to transition this into? Like, where do you kind of see it going?
Well, right now, like I said, I want it to it's going into evergreen, right
Hmm.
now. And, like what I just told you was my goal is like 10K a month, like by the end of the year. If that can go consistently, like we're already planning like meetups and workshops. And where I went on vacation, like it's the most beautiful spot. And like people, there's a gentleman in London, he's like, when are you doing it in person? Like and some of these people in the community are older people that got back into doing what they used to love doing, and now they have the time and the money to do it, and they would fly here like next week. And I'm like, I just don't have the space or the time at
Hmm.
the moment to do that. But that's kind of like a little bit longer term, but short term is just to get that consistently evergreen, where it's bringing in that cash flow to where I can build it out bigger, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I guess last question here then, when in terms of because you were pretty, I guess people when they want to monetize their audience, they have like different opinions, right? Some people are a little bit scared of doing it. Some people like what it seems to be with yourself is like you are a little bit more confident around like, okay, like we can kind of go for it, right? There weren't a lot of limiting beliefs around actually going ahead and launching. You just wanted to do it in the right way. I guess what would you say to someone who maybe is having some doubts about actually going ahead and monetizing their audience, like working with someone like us or like getting that more advanced help to be able to do that after having gone through that process of doing it yourself with your audience?
Uh, well, myself, I've been in business for myself for a long time, so I know the mindset of like you have to place value on yourself, and you have to know like what your value is. And just from what I have to offer, I was confident that I'd be able to teach someone, what I was doing,
Mhm.
right? And
Mhm.
then with the channel and having a lot of interest, I was pretty confident that it would work out. It was just the steps in place, and that's what you
Mhm.
provided. It was like I could spend another 5 years trying to put the pieces together, but it's like you have this roadmap. So
Mhm.
like this makes no sense for me to keep, you know what I mean? Like and it's
Right.
it's just a matter of that, like, sometimes you need to, make that investment in yourself to save yourself the time, right? Like, and I,
Yeah.
and I knew that was the case, and I was trying, and I have done it in the past, and I've bought in courses and I've bought in this, but they've never been super complete or as helpful, not helpful, just when I need something, I can find the answers. You
Right.
know what I mean? When I'm not sure what to do, I can ask you and you tell me, okay, do this, or in and it's laid out pretty well too. And with Harris too, like,
And real quick, if you're enjoying this breakdown and you're an educational content creator or expert who wants help to build and monetize your audience, book a call, the first link in the description, to see if we're a fit to work together. If not, completely fine, but it's there as an option if you're someone who's more serious about it. Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
if that answers the question correctly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It's like the roadmap, right? You had like all the ingredients. It was just like the roadmap to then now be able to implement it as quickly and as efficiently as possible. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
think I think it's important. I had the vision for it because people
Mhm.
because people in my life, in people that would reach out, like it was like they were kind of asking for these things. And I was like, okay, well, I want to do this thing. And I had a pretty good vision of what it would look like. And then it was just a matter of, writing it out, and then, going through, it's work, it's work. There's a lot of things to do, but like, if it's something that you love doing, like the steps are there, like you just
Yeah.
need to, and that's what I need. I need to do this, do this, do this, do this. Cause otherwise I'm doing everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, no, it's like that direction and focus. A lot of
Yeah,
the stuff, like when working together, is just like, okay, let's not do like 90% of that. Let's just do the
yeah,
10% that's gonna make a difference.
yeah. Because I
So
want to
yeah,
consistently do the 90% because it just it's what is that like? Staying busy is not like being
yeah,
productive. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. Cool. Any final thoughts you'd like to share?
Just that it's been awesome. Like it's been yeah, since we initially got into the program, it's been good. Like that, you've always been there when I've reached out. You've met with me many times. So no, I'm super happy with everything on how it's going, and the fact that even after doing a launch that by all metrics, especially in my niche, is super successful. To me, it's still like, okay, what's next, and like to have
Yeah,
someone there that be like, no, like your numbers are good, like let's do this, let's do that, because I, I think people in general, like I just catastrophize, and if someone doesn't, or catastrophize, is that a word? If someone
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
buy for like an hour, I start freaking out, and it's like, no, it's okay. Like,
yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah, so moving
yeah.
forward, having more direction and more clarity is super helpful. Like, yeah, it's super awesome to have.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's been a good journey, and we're still going. Like you said, like now it's time to transition over to evergreen and keep scaling. So
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for your time.
absolutely.